of you right now, how many of you have exercise equipment at home right now that you're not using? I know all of the people here, they have exercise equipment at home and they're not using it. Why not? One woman right here, she's sharing that her clothes are on it. So we want to work today on taking the clothes off your treadmill or on your stepper or off your bike and starting to, could be your elliptical, starting to really work on that anti-aging and getting you going, and accountability, Dr. Anthony. So how to stay young naturally. I want all of you to look at your outline in front of you. And the first thing, this was an article done that in the USA Today, a recent study was done on people 60 and older when they were asked about things that they have done, would have done differently in their life to prepare for their senior years. The top two things were, number one, take better care of my health and spend more time with my family. Those were the top two things that people said as they were working on aging and getting into their years. So I want to encourage all of you today, whether you're watching us online or at home, I want you to think about one area you want to work on in your life. I want you to circle it, star it. I want you to start working on it because I want to work on helping you to create this change. So that way, next year, or in 3 months or 6 months, you look back and you say, you know what? You know that elliptical that I had all my clothes on? I took them off. I'm exercising, and what do you know? I lost weight, and I'm happy, and I'm healthy. So we want to work on all these different things to help your body stay healthy naturally.
Great. So let's talk a little bit about a topic. It's called biological age versus chronological age. So I'm going to take you on a time travel adventure. So I'm going to transport you back to your first grade classroom, if you can imagine what that looks like. If you're with a bunch of first graders, it's pretty hard to distinguish how because everybody looks pretty much similar when it comes to age. This looks like a group of first graders. Take that same group of first graders, advance them 60 years at a reunion from high school, and that same group, some people look younger than others. You're going to say, what's going on? So chronological age is how old you really are in numbers of years. Biological age is what you're doing between that first grade time frame and when you get together with everybody, that's determining how well you're aging. So some people age very quickly, some people age very slowly. Now what's really interesting, science tells us the average adult body is designed to last how many years? Any guesses? 120. So the average human body is designed to last 120 years. So you're going to say, what is happening? Well, a lot of it
I see all these faces over here, Dr. I'm thinking, 120 years old, can you imagine what you would look like?
So what would you plan differently in your life right now if you knew that you were going to get to 120? A lot. So that's what a lot of times what goes on right now too, just that same study, the reason why the USA Today people said more investment in their health earlier is because once they got older, they go, I never expected that I was going to live this long, and I would have wished that I would have taken better care of myself along the way. So some of these tips can help you get to a better biological age because we can't change your chronological age. So let's talk a little bit about factors of the aging process. How many people have ever heard of something called a free radical? Okay, so just like we went on a time travel adventure, we're going to go back to science class. So does everybody remember an atom? You have a circle, and the inside is a proton, a neutron, and the outside circle is something that's called an electron. A group of electrons circle the center. What ends up happening with a free radical, it's an electron that gets shot off of its rotation, and now it's something called a free radical. It can be very damaging because it's not paired to anything. So over time, your body accumulates either free radicals or oxygenation, and that could definitely speed up the aging process. For example, not calling out people that smoke, just the act of smoking, but smoking increases free radical production. Have you ever met a smoker? Let's just say that they were in their 30s and 40s. Do they look like they're in their 30s and 40s? No, they usually look about a decade older than they are because of the free radicals from the smoking that ends up affecting their body. So there are many different things that can contribute toward an increase in free radicals. Some of them are environment and the environmental toxins. What's really interesting, and you don't think about it, and we've talked about this other times, is every day you're exposed to chemicals. Paint in the wall of your home, the chemicals that are sprayed on your mattress, the things that are made in your clothes, the things that you're sitting in, the fabrics that you're in your cars, cleaners, things that you're exposed to on the job. Those chemicals your body ends up having to process and will end up affecting your body in the aging process. So if you even read on here, it says, scientists say we experience 10,000 individual free radicals every single day. So what's important is some of the strategies that we'll get to a little bit later to help reduce free radicals is going to be a balanced diet, chiropractic care, water. All the strategies that we talk about are geared towards clearing up free radicals. Now, Dr. Casen is going to share with you the next thing in process in aging. Really, really, really important to get this one right.
Does anyone have any idea what would expedite your aging process for a food? What do you think? Sugar! Yes, sugar will impact your cells and your body, and it actually speeds up the cells. So if you consume something that's sugary, your body actually goes through this inflammatory reaction because it sees that sugar and it starts feeding other cells. And that's why I absolutely love doing the breast thermography in our office, because it's all through temperature, and there's different things in your body that you can work on with limiting cell growth, which entails make sure that you're doing your water and your proteins and your vegetables to actually feed those cells that you want as far as for your immune system, rather than putting sugar and grains and other things which will cause other cells to replicate. And we see so many people, and I know some of you too, look at your pictures. Just go back in time and look at your pictures. Are there years where you notice, hey, I was doing really good with my foods and my exercise, and then if you go back to some other years, you might notice, oh, I don't want to look at that picture, or oh wow, what's going on? And then you go back and you look at your other pictures and think, okay, I want to get back to where I was. And that's why we do all of these posture pictures in our office. And I know for some of you, when we look back to where you were and where you are now, sometimes you look back and I have people say, oh my goodness, can I take a picture of that? I don't even remember what I looked like. Or I have some people that say, oh my gosh, I don't want to look at that picture. I don't want to look at what was going on. But so I want everyone, feel your wrists. This is our little activity. Even if you're at home, feel your wrists, feel your body. What you want to feel, you want to feel bone around your wrists. You want to feel those carpal bones or those hand bones. You want to feel your joints. Some of you right now, you might even notice that your body feels puffy. Maybe at home your rings don't fit. Maybe you have some swelling going on. Those are all body signals that your body could be inflamed, and we want to work on getting rid of fluid because you don't want all that extra pressure on your tissues and joints. And that's why we're talking about making wiser choices in your life and increasing the living food. All the kids in our office, I share, okay, what's better for your body, living food or dead food? Living food, living food. I think we should all go back to that and think of that when you're grocery shopping. Shop where the living food is, because you want to work on giving life to your body. If it's in a package, if it has chemicals, your body has to process through all those chemicals, and you could have inflammation or other things that are weakening your immune system. Also, wrinkling in your skin. You know, a lot of people are concerned about, as they're aging, their skin, the elasticity of it. You want to make sure that you're feeding your body with those green leafy vegetables, carrots, butter, olive oil, coconut oil, those healthy oils which are going to help to nourish your skin also. Just some little tips for you.
what is really interesting was that fact that was down there at the bottom of that section that says rats. Scientists have proved that rats that lived on a calorie-restricted diet free of sugar live 50% longer than other rats. That's a lot. So it's a good way to think about sugar is like this. If you've ever seen a fire, sugar is like the fire in your body. So if you're eating sugar, just imagine that it's lighting things up on the inside. So you really want to limit the fuel to the fire, which is sugar. So let's stay away from that. Now, the other S word, the other dangerous S word besides sugar is stress. So now I know none of you have stress. That would be, everybody here has no stress in their lives. Nobody has, like a mother-in-law. Sorry if you're watching, but it's someone that is bothering them. No offense. It's somebody. I know it's a good example. Somebody that is ending up causing you stress in your life. It could be a family member. It could be a friend. It could be a situation. As human beings, we tend to make things worse out than they actually are, and we play it over and over and over again in our minds. Especially ladies. So you're having this go over and over and over and over and over again.
You do understand we have a room full of women here, right? We do have a couple
mother-in-laws and ladies. So I'm just making a statement that stress can affect us either positively or negatively. So you're going to say, Dr. Anthony, did you just say stress can be positive? Yeah. Our body's meant to withhold and handle stress. What happens when it becomes an issue is when it's chronic, long-term stress ends up wearing out your body, ends up affecting your adrenal glands. So I have the solution for all of you. Are you ready? Sell everything that you own and get a shack on the beach somewhere and just hang out. But most people go, I can't do that because I have somebody at home that I'm taking care of, and my kids and my grandkids, and I got all this stuff. So definitely work on simplifying your life. The simpler things are, the easier it ends up being on you. The more complicated it is, the more stress you end up happening. So, Dr. Casen and I formulated an anti-aging battle plan. You will be wise to follow each and every one of these steps. So, Dr. Casen, what's the first anti-aging battle plan?
Number one, you want to take care of your brain. Your brain controls everything. I was working with someone this morning, and I was sharing with him, just like brushing your teeth every day, you want to take care of your brain. We don't really think about it, but every day our brain and our nervous system, which is inside the spine, it controls everything. So think about it for a moment. You're sitting there right now and you're reading, you're sitting in your chair, you're breathing. Your brain and your nervous system is telling everything what to do. Don't you think you want to take care of that for your life? So that's why chiropractic care is so important for this brain. And I know a lot of people, when we sit down with them and they say, you know what, something I want to work on as a goal of mine is to help my brain function, to help my concentration. I was working with another woman this past week. She said, my memory, it's not like it used to be. She said, I have difficulty recalling words, or I see it and I can't say it. So that's why this month we're doing a special on our Omega blood test, and we can actually check your oils in your body to see if you have too much inflammation, or if you have other challenges going on where too much oil or not enough oils for the omega-3s, which is important for heart function. That's why we have our heart model right here. Also a precursor for dementia, anxiety, depression, all of these factors. A lot of times it's a need for minerals or oil in the brain. So with your chiropractic care, you want to consider seeing and literally checking the oil in your body to see how it's flowing, just like checking the oil in your car.
So I have to be brutally honest because I always pick on other people, so I'm going to pick on myself now. So in the fall I did some blood work. I did what we call our Opticom, and I did the Omega test, and I was extremely surprised at the results of my Omega test. Guess what it showed? High Omega-6, low Omega-3. So I said, how can that be? I'm Dr. Anthony. So I am not immune as well. So what is interesting is I evaluated things in my diet that were high in Omega-6. But really what I found was, I thought I was doing pretty good. But there is some stuff that I was getting from places like Whole Foods, Earth Fare, Heinen's that had sunflower and safflower oil in it that are omega-6. So guess what I did? I eliminated it from my diet. Guess what happened to me? I lost 8 pounds in 3 weeks. So it's really interesting on top of that. If you would have asked me, hey, Dr. Anthony, how's your mental capacity? Man, I'm awesome. I'm Dr. Anthony. So then I started supplementing with some of the oils that we have, and guess what happened? Boy, I can do everything. I can handle all these complex equations and figure out all this stuff because now my brain's working better. So it was really interesting, you know, because a lot of times everybody, I think we have our own self-perception that I'm doing really well. But it was interesting to me that this omega test showed different levels of omega-3, 6, and 9. So now it can be someone that wants to check on their nervous system, but it's really, and I've seen this quite a bit, a lot of people are concerned about getting Alzheimer's, dementia, Parkinson's, schizophrenia. If you're concerned about that, the omega check's really important because the things that can be done of it will help prevent those particular items. So brain and the nervous system, really important. Omega check's a great way to check on that. Now let's talk super important digestion. If we're not digesting properly, it ends up affecting our entire life. It causes us not to age well. So let's talk about a couple of things in order to help improve digestion. You want to eat vegetables. So many times when we talk about sugar, we don't ever talk about what you should do. And a lot of times someone will say, I'm just going to trade one carb for another. I don't want you to do that. I want you to increase vegetables in your life. I'm not telling you to become a vegan or a vegetarian. I am telling you to increase vegetables. The reason why vegetables help your digestion, it like scrapes the walls of your colon and gives your body roughage. I had someone ask me yesterday, she said, Dr. Anthony, what about juice? Shouldn't I juice? Well, when you juice, you're missing out all that good fiber that's in vegetables and you really want to eat it. You have these beautiful white things in your mouth that help you chew. When you do that, it releases enzymes for your body to break down food better. So it's really important in order to help your digestion that you want to eat vegetables. We'll talk a bit about water in a little bit. You also might need some more magnesium in your diet. Kale, collard greens, Swiss chard, all very helpful. You can also supplement with magnesium, very helpful for bowel movements. Also, going back to the whole oil thing, people that have a difficulty with constipation a lot of times usually need more oil in their life. Another strategy to help digestion, make sure that you're doing a probiotic. The one that we have here in the office has 20 billion cultures of bacteria per capsule. It also is a prebiotic, so it has food in there to help cultivate good bacteria that's already present. Really will help with bowel movements.
May I ask a question? You talked about oils, and you said all of the, like safflower and soy, they're out. Now, what are the best of the oils that would have a balance?
That's a great, so let's talk two different things. Let's talk cooking, let's talk supplementation. Cooking, I really want you to use olive oil, coconut oil, and organic butter. Supplementation, you're gonna rotate between flax oil, optimal EFA, and fish oil.
What's optimal?
Optimal EFA is a blend of 3, 6, and 9.
They do
Do you have a sample of that?
Do I have a sample of what?
The 3, 6, and 9?
Yeah, it's called optimal EFA.
Oh,
Oh, you mean
It's here in our
That's
office.
a
It's
capsule.
But also going back to the oils, you want to make sure that they're organic, cold pressed.
right.
From small
From-
fish, if it's a fish oil.
Yes, and when you're looking at your coconut oil, your olive oil, look at it to see what the quality is, because sometimes you'll see coconut oil and olive oil and it's not organic and it might not be cold pressed, so it can actually go rancid.
Well, what about something like avocado oil?
You know, avocado oil is still, I'm going to be in that could have a higher omega-6. So you really want to, in our opinion, focus with olive oil, coconut oil, and butter. No. Ghee doesn't have the fat in it, so just use the butter. Grapeseed oil is going to be high on omega-6 too. So just like, you know, when we've talked about fruit in the past, if it's not olive oil, coconut oil, or butter, don't do it.
Now, what about the vegetables? You know, there's so many varieties. The hardy ones, the greens, the in between. It's the variety that you eat. It doesn't matter what it is.
You know what? That's really so. For those that didn't hear the question, is asking about variety of vegetables. That's one of the things that we always talk about. You want a variety. You don't ever want to do the same thing, and you want to vary how you prepare it. Sometimes sautéed, sometimes broiled, sometimes baked, sometimes with olive oil, sometimes with coconut, sometimes in a soup. You want to vary it because if you're always doing the same thing, you're never getting the full nutrient spectrum of what you could use. And you want to use different things. That's one of my favorite things about going to different grocery stores is because they get produce from different areas and you want to be able to spread out the love.
But even like potatoes, both white potatoes and sweet potatoes, sometimes people, you know, I've been under the impression that white potatoes are really not the best thing for you.
Right, so if you're, in our opinion, white potatoes aren't considered a vegetable because of the starch that's in it. So that would be just like someone saying, I ate my vegetables because I had my French fries today. So you really want to not even consider things that are high in starch as a vegetable.
Like white things, so think of things that are white. So sweet potato is a much better option for you. So with it, as we move forward here, the next thing is clean water. This is a really big one right now, especially in the seasons. We find that a lot of people, they forget to drink their water. And this is one of the simplest things that you can do is measure out your water of how much you need per day. And with that, some of you may have heard us say this, half of your body weight in ounces every single day. That's your goal for water. You want to make sure that it's from a purified source. We encourage reverse osmosis, or you want some type of purification system, because municipal water or tap water, there are still chemicals, medications, different things that you'll find in there that are toxic that you might not even be aware of. Like for example, chlorine. Fluorine, and bromine, they antagonize your thyroid gland. So I just had a swimmer this morning and he spends 4 hours a day in a pool, and he's 18, he's been doing this since he's 5 years old, and he has the body signals of a low thyroid, cold hands, cold feet, he's having some digestive challenges. What's really interesting is he has a chronic congestion or lung challenge, and I do believe it's because of that low thyroid and not having enough iodine in the body. So we're going to talk about him, but especially think about your environment of if you have kids or grandkids, what are they exposed to every day? You know, they could be in a classroom and cleaning different things. So that's why these vegetables and these other nutrients are so important, literally, to help be your soldiers in your body, because all of us are exposed. It's how well can you adapt to that, and that's what we do with clean water, our vegetables, our proteins, chiropractic care. I know you want to be mindful of avoiding these different chemicals, of course, like the environment or the chemicals. So I encourage you, one of your takeaways from today might be to look at what you put on your body. Look at what you put on your body, whether it's your toothpaste, your shampoo, your products, your cleaning products. I know detergents are very toxic, so especially if you're using Tide or any of these other mainstream laundry detergents with all these fragrances, these are known carcinogens, and if you want to look it up, you can even look at the American Cancer Society of carcinogens and look at those chemicals in there. It's very surprising. I know it's very interesting as with working with kids and families, and if you learn to look up Johnson & Johnson, I had someone ask me the other day, they said, Dr. Casen, did you know that these baby products that they're giving to kids, they are toxic? Can you believe that? And I said, look at everything you're putting on your body, not just in your babies. And she said, well, how can they do that? And I looked at her and I just kind of smiled, and she says, I know. So I want you to be your own investigator, that you want to be mindful of what you're putting on, not just your body, but your pets, your kids, your grandkids. It's all connected with the body.
I'm glad you mentioned it, because I was using organic shampoo for my clothes, detergent, and then I was out and I got like a tire or something else. And you know what? I had some irritation from that, and I had to like get rid of it.
So
I went back to the organic, and everything is fine.
So what's really important is always looking at ingredients. Now, exercise, really great tip for anti-aging. Always want to do 20 minutes of something every single day. Helps get things moving, helps in so many different fashions and capacities. Now, as we are concluding, a couple things to remember. What happens if we get this right? A lot of times it's an improved quality of life. A lot of things become easier. What happens if we get this wrong? You're the kid at the high school reunion that nobody wants to talk to because you look 10 years older than you really are, and you have some challenges towards the end of your life. So you don't want to be that person. You want to be proactive about what's going on in your health. So this was a really good topic. If you enjoyed this, you can go back and watch it again because we're broadcasting it live on Facebook. Next month is going to be a great topic. It's going to be on how to take care of your skin naturally. So a lot of people have skin questions. It's going to be a hot topic. So that's going to be really important. A couple of quick announcements when it comes to the things going on in the office. We have a few specials going on. As we already mentioned, we're doing the Omega blood spot check test, which measures levels of omega-3 and 6 and arachidonic acid. It's really helpful for all those things that we mentioned. If you're concerned about Alzheimer's, dementia, how your brain's working, schizophrenia, really important to definitely go ahead and do that. It's on special for $130 this month, normally $165. All of our oils are on special this month. So if it's an oil for supplementation, it's all on special this month. Now, for those that might be suffering with some immune stuff, one of the most popular products that we have is called Rapid Immune Response, and it's partnered Daily Immune Response. Rapid Immune Response we use if someone's not at 100%, you can take 2 every hour until the bottle is gone. Daily Immune Response is more like a daily 1 a day in order to help keep your immune system healthy through the season. You guys have been awesome. It's going to be beautiful today, tomorrow, even if it is wet. Go outside and go for some exercise. And we'll see you next month.
Thank you.
What did you say was the best defense? Best defense against chlorine?
Chlorine, so we